My name is Trish Schaefer, and I'm the coordinator for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support for Washoe County School District. Today, I'm going to talk with you about social-emotional learning and what it looks like in our schools.
Welcome. Today we're going to talk about social-emotional learning in an academic setting. What is social-emotional learning? Social-emotional learning teaches students how to understand and manage their emotions, teaches them how to set and achieve goals, teaches students how to feel and show empathy for their fellow peers, teachers, and community members. Social-emotional learning helps students understand how to establish and maintain positive relationships. Finally, social-emotional learning teaches students how to make responsible decisions. In Washoe County School District, we consider social-emotional learning not another initiative, but foundational for all the key initiatives you see displayed here. Social-emotional learning is a process for helping children and even adults develop the fundamental skills for life effectiveness. Social-emotional learning teaches the skills we all need to handle ourselves, our relationships, and our work effectively and ethically. Social-emotional learning allows students to access curriculum, represented here by Common Core State Standards. Students need to be able to engage in rich and rigorous conversation, persuasive argument, and demonstrate perseverance. All of these skills are taught through social-emotional learning. Teachers use social-emotional learning, and it is demonstrated through the professional growth system, demonstrated here as PGS. A part of a teacher's evaluation is helping students to understand accountability, facilitate their own learning, and be engaged in the classroom. All of these competencies, again, are taught through social-emotional learning. Finally, multi-tiered systems of support is the problem-solving framework in which we support all students. It helps us create a positive climate and culture for all students and staff, and also helps ensure that all students are accessing their academic curriculum. All of this is found through social-emotional learning. Social-emotional learning came to Washoe County School District through the Collaborative for Academic and Social-Emotional Learning. Originally, this think tank was founded by Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, and Eileen Rockefeller-Gorwald, and a group of distinguished researchers and practitioners. After much discussion and research, they decided to implement social-emotional learning on a large scale with the help of 8 urban districts. Washoe County is lucky enough to be one of them. Social-emotional learning is made up of 5 core competencies: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. These 5 core competencies are at the heart of the SEL Standards that Washoe County School District developed. In addition to developing the 5 core standards or core competencies, Washoe County School District has designed implementation guides for grades K through 12. As noted earlier, there is a strong connection to the work that is already seen in everyday classrooms. Common Core State Standards in terms of English language arts. Teachers have to teach students how to be more patient and create time for reading more complex text. As mentioned previously, students have to engage in rich and rigorous conversations when dependent on common text. In math, students need to be able to construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. Additionally, they have to communicate steps that they have taken to solve a problem to their peers and their teachers. These are all skills that students need to be taught in a very systematic way. Without social-emotional learning, students are left adrift to figure it out themselves. We also mentioned the connection to social-emotional learning to the professional growth system. Teachers who are considered highly effective create an environment of respect and rapport. They respond to students' misbehavior in a manner that is sensitive to the individual student and respects the student's dignity. They also allow students to have choice in how they complete tasks and may serve as resources for one another, as well as allow students to ensure all voices are heard in the discussion. All skills that are foundationally taught through social and emotional learning. What do we know about social emotional learning, and how is it taught and learned in our schools? We know the benefits of SEL in schools are vast. First, the relationships provide a foundation for learning. When students feel safe and connected to an adult, they are more able to learn. Second, we know emotions affect how and what we learn. Third, we know social and emotional learning skills can be taught. SEL has a positive impact on academic performance, health, relationships, and citizenship. Social and emotional learning skills and dispositions are demanded by employers. Finally, social-emotional learning provides a coordinating framework for youth to overcome fragmentation and prevention and create positive youth development for all students. A meta-analysis was conducted by CASEL, and what they found was astounding. SEL does improve student outcomes. First, students saw a gain of social-emotional skills, improved qualities about self, others, and a school. We saw an increase in positive classroom behavior and an 11 percentile point gain on standardized achievement tests. This is a significant amount. When social-emotional learning was implemented, we also saw a reduced risk for failure, for behavior or conduct problems, and for emotional stress. Social-emotional learning, when implemented in schools, also reduces risky behaviors. In 2003, the Centers for Disease Control reported that 28% of youth reported feeling so sad or hopeless every day for 2 weeks or more that they stopped engaging in normal activities. 16% planned to commit suicide sometime during the last 12 months. And more than 50% in some student groups drop out of school. Social-emotional learning is one way schools can systematically intervene and stop the cycle of these risky behaviors. In addition to supporting students' mental health, social-emotional learning also increases academic performance. In summary, evidence shows that SEL leads to improvements in attitude, which translates to motivation and commitment to academic learning. Behavior, which translates to participation and better study habits. And finally, performance, which translates to grades and subject mastery. Social-emotional learning is not just about behaviors in school or academic performance in school. It is also what is required for students to gain meaningful employment. When the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training and Administration looked at what employers most want from potential employees, they are looking for students who have learning to learn skills, with strong listening and oral communication skills, adaptability with creative thinking and problem solving, personal management, translating to self-esteem, goal setting, and self-motivation, group effectiveness, interpersonal skills, negotiation, organizational effectiveness, and leadership, and finally, competence in reading, writing, and computation. Pause for a moment and think, when was the last time you saw those skills taught systematically in the school you work in? So why do we teach social-emotional learning, or SEL? Emotions affect how and what we learn. Schools are social places. Relationships provide foundations for learning. Effective classroom management strategies help all students have more time to engage in the academic curriculum. Social emotional learning reduces barriers for students to access their curriculum. It is demanded by employers. It has a positive impact on academic performance, and it names and supports what teachers already do. The ultimate goal of Washoe County School District is to ensure graduation for every child by name and face. That our students graduate not only proficient in all academic areas, but display competencies in the areas of self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. For we know that academic success without SEL truly is a failure. Thank you for taking the time to listen today.